In the heart of downtown Los Angeles sits a billion-dollar city block of luxury towers called Metropolis. Built by Greenland USA, the American arm of a major Chinese developer, these towers were finished years ago with hundreds of high end condos and apartments. But a recent public records investigation found something striking. At least 281 finished luxury condos, more than one third of the for sale units, sit completely empty. The U.S. Postal Service has flagged them as vacant. No one lives there, while the neighboring rental tower, Thea, at Metropolis, has maintained much higher occupancy. Large sections of the condo towers remain intentionally off the market. Why? Developers often treat finished luxury units as capital assets. Lowering prices or filling them with renters can devalue the remaining inventory. Chinese capital controls and corporate strategies have also locked many of these units in place. The result is a gleaming multi tower complex on a full city block, with hundreds of finished homes that no one is allowed to live in. In a city facing a housing crisis, these empty luxury towers raise a quiet but powerful question. Who is this housing really for? Is real estate giant Greenland Group. The United States Postal Service has officially flagged all 281 addresses as mail vacant. That means no mail has been delivered for at least 90 days. No electric bills, no catalogs, no residents. Only about 10% of the condos in the complex even claim the California homeowner's exemption, the official designation for a primary residence. The neighboring rental tower, Thea at Metropolis, tells the opposite story. After Greenland converted it from condos to apartments and later sold it to American private equity firm Northland for $504 million, it has maintained roughly 91% occupancy. Lights on, people living there, a functioning building. The condo towers next door remain dark. Metropolis was supposed to be Greenland USA's triumphant arrival in the American market. Construction broke ground in 2014 on a 6.3-acre site in the South Park district of downtown Los Angeles, walking distance from Crypto.com Arena, LA Live, and the Convention Center. The project includes 3 residential towers, a 350-room Hotel Indigo, and 70,000 square feet of retail space. Designed by Gensler and HED, the towers feature full curtain wall glass, high ceilings, and premium finishes. The first condo tower opened in 2017. The second followed in 2018. Studios started around $600,000. Larger units climbed well into the millions. Residents were promised more than 100,000 square feet of amenities, including the 1.5-acre Sky Park with pools, cabanas, gardens, a dog park, and children's play areas. For a moment, it looked like the Chinese capital wave that had flooded global real estate would reshape downtown LA. Then the tide turned. By 2018 and 2019, Beijing had imposed strict capital controls. China's own real estate bubble was beginning to deflate. Developers like Greenland faced mounting pressure at home. Sales at Metropolis slowed dramatically. Greenland tried to sell parts of the project. They converted the third residential tower from condominiums to rentals and renamed it Thea. Eventually, they sold Thea to Northland at a steep discount, $504 million, far below earlier asking prices. But the 2 pure condo towers remained. Why keep hundreds of finished luxury homes empty for nearly a decade? There are several overlapping reasons. First, unsold inventory is often treated as a capital asset on a developer's balance sheet. Aggressively cutting prices or converting more units to rentals can force a write-down that hurts the company's financial statements and its ability to raise capital. Second, Chinese capital controls made it difficult to repatriate money or fully exit the investment cleanly. Third, holding the units empty, even with carrying costs, can be less damaging than flooding a soft market with discounted inventory that further depresses values. Greenland has not publicly detailed its strategy. Requests for comment have gone unanswered. The outcome is the same: hundreds of completed, high-quality homes that no one is allowed to occupy. Los Angeles is living through one of the most severe housing crises of any major American city. Tens of thousands of people are unhoused on any given night. Hundreds of thousands more are rent-burdened or have been priced out of the neighborhoods where they grew up. At the exact same time, luxury towers, some finished, some unfinished, many partially empty, sit across the region as financial assets rather than homes. Metropolis is not the only example. Other Chinese-backed or foreign capital projects have stalled or left units dark. The unfinished ocean-wide plaza towers, covered in graffiti for years, became a global symbol of the same disconnect. When finished housing is more valuable as a balance sheet instrument than as actual shelter, the people who need homes pay the highest price. Supply is not just about what gets built, it is also about what is allowed to be occupied. Walk the Metropolis block today, and the contrast is impossible to ignore. Thea, under American ownership, has lights in the windows, residents coming and going, a living building. The condo towers next door still show large, consistent bands of darkness, exactly where the postal records say the units sit vacant. The glass is clean, the architecture is still impressive, the Sky Park amenities exist, but behind those dark windows are kitchens that have never been cooked in, bedrooms that have never been slept in, views of Los Angeles that no one is waking up to. In a city desperate for housing of every price point, these units remain deliberately off the market. To understand how we arrived here, we have to go back further. In the early and mid 2010s, Chinese capital was pouring into American real estate at an unprecedented rate. Los Angeles was a primary destination. Developers from China saw DTLA as an opportunity to build signature projects that would signal global reach. Metropolis was the flagship. Greenland poured more than $1 billion into the site. At its peak, the construction employed 1,700 union workers every day. When the towers opened, the marketing materials promised a new standard of luxury living in the center of the city. But the market never fully absorbed the inventory. High prices, rising HOA fees, and a softening condo market in downtown Los Angeles made buyers cautious. Then came the capital controls from Beijing. Suddenly, the free flow of money that had financed the project slowed to a trickle. Greenland found itself overexposed in a market that no longer wanted what it was selling at the original prices. Holding inventory empty is not free. There are property taxes, maintenance, security, and insurance. Yet, for a large developer, those costs can be preferable to recognizing a large loss on the balance sheet or triggering further price declines across the remaining units. Meanwhile, the rental market told a different story. When Thea was converted and later sold, it found tenants. People want to live downtown when the product is offered as rentals at the right price point. The demand exists. The problem is the ownership structure and the financial incentives that keep the condo units locked. This pattern is not limited to Metropolis. Across Los Angeles County, foreign-owned properties, particularly those purchased by Chinese buyers and developers in earlier years, have higher vacancy rates than comparable domestic-owned homes. The Wall Street Journal and other investigations have documented hundreds of empty high-end houses and condos sitting dark while the city struggles with homelessness and affordability. The human cost is real. Every empty luxury unit represents a unit of housing that could have been occupied, even if the price point is high. In a market with constrained supply, removing inventory from the market, even temporarily, puts upward pressure on prices elsewhere. It also sends a message that housing is first and foremost a financial asset, not a place for people to live. As we stand here looking at these dark towers, the question is not simply why one developer made one decision. The question is, what kind of system allows finished homes to remain empty for years while tens of thousands of people sleep on the streets a few miles away? There are no easy answers, but the lights that stay off at Metropolis force us to confront the gap between the housing we build and the housing we allow people to use. The U.S. Postal Service continues to mark those 281 units vacant. The glass continues to reflect the city lights, and the towers continue to stand, beautiful, expensive, and empty. Who is this housing really for? The question is, what kind of system allows finished homes to remain empty for years while tens of thousands of people sleep on the streets a few miles away? There are no easy answers, but the lights that stay off at Metropolis force us to confront the gap between the housing we build and the housing we allow people to use. The U.S. Postal Service continues to mark those 281 units vacant. The glass continues to reflect the city lights, and the towers continue to stand, beautiful, expensive, and empty. Who is this housing really for?